Season 2 Educational Reality Talk, powered by Harvard College of Science, Business and Management Studies. And as usual, we have our panelists in the studio. And what we do is we are now supercharged for a new season. We have the President Intellectual Harvard Group in the studio, the HNIC, all beyond and behind this old invention. It is Dr. Adebayo Oluwatosin. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah, good morning, sir. And good morning, our people at home.
Also, we have someone I love to have in the studio with me every time the program comes on air. Is the school administrator at Harvard College of Science, Business and Management Studies, Mr. Ujo Bankole. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, and good morning, dear listeners at home.
Also, behind the scenes, we have the Exams and Record Officer at Harvard College of Science, Business and Management Studies, Ms. Simba Mary, and also Director of Program, Scholarship Aid Initiative, Ms. Aderoju Kemisola. So before we start the topic of today, now, like we do, let's go to Mr. Ujo Bankole. What has been happening at Harvard? You know, give us the 411. It's a new season, and a lot of activities must be going behind the scenes at school. So just give us in a couple of minutes what has been happening at Harvard College of Science, Business and Management Studies.
Okay, thank you. I want to say again that it's a pleasure being here. Harvard, we've been bustling with quite a lot of activities. Okay. New students are beginning to come into campus. Okay. Then the registration for new section is in idea. We have quite a number of students popping in with their parents for inquiry, maybe because they listen to this channel also. Now, that being said, we also have the visit of the Federal Regulatory Body for polytechnics and allied institutions in Nigeria. Okay. Across the week. It was a big event, and they were in the school for two major aspects. They were there for resource inspection for some of our new courses, and then for accreditation of some of our existing courses. Then also in the course of the week, in the course of the last 1 week, we've had many of our students, like the final year student that just finished. They had their final year dinner yesterday, the gala night. It was a powerful event. Awesome. Among the students, among the management and staff, there have been activities. It's been a whole lot of stuff. But the center of it is that admission is in progress now, and students are coming into school. Parents that have students, either your students score maybe low mark in JAMB and all of that, please don't keep them at home. Bring them. We will offer them admission. We have quite a number of our students. Gone are the day when you talk about Gen Z. Okay. There is a generation coming behind them called Gen Alpha. They are more inquisitive. Don't keep these young people at home. Bring them to campus. We are there. Even if they do not write JAMB, bring them. We know what to do. We will give them preemptive. And Haidu Hand is a devil's workshop. If you get them out of the streets, then bring them to campus. Within 1 year, they will get themselves back, write their JAMB, or continue with the program. These are what is going on currently on campus. Thank you.
And for those who want to check out the website of the institution to find out about admissions and every other detail, it's
www.harvardcollege.edu.com.
.edu.ng.com. All right, sir. Thank you. So now, let's switch to the topic of today. Resource inspection and accreditation process in Nigeria's higher institution. Resource inspection and accreditation process in Nigeria's higher institution. Dr. Adebayo Oluwatosin, can you briefly highlight the process that it involves to the listeners at home?
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Before talking about the process, right, sir, we need to look at what does these two things mention, what are they all about? Okay. We realize that many parents, even teachers, okay, even government or even journalists, they don't understand what this topic we want to talk about this morning is all about. And that's why they mix them up. And if you're looking at it, you are talking about resource inspection, we're talking about accreditation, but something is still missing there. And what is missing? When there's accreditation, there's also disaccreditation. But when I get there, I will explain the details. Now, when we say resource inspection, what does it mean? This is a crucial quality assurance mechanism that involves comprehensive assessment of institutions, the agency, to look into the faculty infrastructure, learning materials, and overall capacity to ensure that it meets established academic standard. What does that mean? We are talking about, in a simple language, courses approval. Approval of courses is different from accreditation of courses. Resource inspection is the first thing that comes when an institution is being established. The government approved that higher institution, either as a university, as a polytechnic, or as a college of education. The moment the approval of the institution is being given, we call it institutional approval, which is still another thing entirely. And it's the body of all institutional approval. Without institutional approval, there can never be resource inspection, talk less of having accreditation or disaccreditation. Now, the moment an institution has been approved, the next thing is to look at the courses that this institution wants to start with. And in the process, the resource inspection, which means that all the necessary requirements, facility, departmental resources that is being needed for that courses are available. Human resources, everything have to be looked into. The moment the institution have all those requirements based on the standard requirement of the agency, then the resource inspection will be approved. That is, those courses will be approved. That is what they mean by resource inspection. Now, when I come to the accreditation in Nigeria is after it depends on the institution you are running. If you are running university, the process is different. If it is polytechnic, it's different. And what I mean by different is that the number of years, once you have courses that have been approved, the agency will give you some years, either 2 years or 3 years, for them to come back and see if people have met the standards that's been laid down. As at the time you are running the courses, if you have met the standard that's been laid down, they will now to come and see whether there's an improvement on what you people are doing. And that is what will lead to accreditation of that courses. That is quality assurance. They want to see the competency and the resources that is available. You know, I made mention of something initially. I said approving of the course, first stage. That is the first stage. Now, accreditation of the course, that is the second stage. Which means that by the time they come back and see either after 2 years or 3 years, they will look into, okay, when we came, we told you people that, okay, we gave you this course, you don't have this. But before we come back, make sure all those things have been put in places. And when they come back and they realize that all those things have been done, they look at the file. They look what people have taught the students. They can look at the curriculum. You know, they check everything and look at even the lecturers. The number of lecturers you have for that particular course, they according to their qualification, either as an assistant lecturer, as a senior lecturer, lecturer 1, lecturer 2, even to the level of professorship. So when they look at it, they realize, okay, this course is what is worthy to be accredited. And that's what they mean by accreditation of courses. And I said something again, that courses that have been accredited can be can be disaccredited. But when we get to that aspect, I will explain better. Right. So that is what I mean by resource inspection and accreditation of courses in the Nigerian educational system. Thank you.
Sir, you've broken it down well. But according to what you have explained, what is the significance of this entire process?
Now, when we look at the significance of this process, it's different. Right. Which I have explained initially, the difference and the process it takes. The difference is that first thing we look at the process of what is resource inspection, which I've explained that is the first thing courses that a school propose to run. Now, coming back is the accreditation of after 2 years. Now let's look in the difference between the two. Then accreditation means, okay, after some years, this agency come back again to check. Now, the process, which I said, if you look at the university, for instance, when you are giving the courses, approved courses, NUC is the body that come back to check for the accreditation whether this course has meet up with the standard being required. Now, when you look at the Polytechnic, National Board for Technical Education is the one that will come back to check if the courses is being run according to their standard. Now, when you look at College of Education, it is the National Council for College of Education will also come back and see if those courses given to the College of Education is being run according to their standard. So that is the process. Now, when you look at this, it's not the federal government, because higher institution in Nigeria, so parents don't understand that when you are an higher institution in Nigeria, is not being controlled by the Ministry of Education in your state. It's being controlled by the federal government under the Federal Ministry of Education, and the Federal Ministry of Education has different agencies for each of the institutions, which I've mentioned at NUC, MBTE, and NCCE accordingly. So it's the process. So this significant shows that the agency that in charge are the one that controls each of those institutions, and the process are different from each other.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you so much. Like one of the reasons why your explanations always people always show interest in your explanation is how you break them down into bits. Now, Doctor, we are hearing digital accreditation process. Digital accreditation process. What does it really mean?
Yeah, this is a new system that this agency, or let me say the federal government, introduced.
Okay.
But if you look at among the 3 agencies that I've mentioned, National Board for Technical Education is the first among the agencies that started it now. And what does it really mean? Before, when you want to go into any of this process, you realize that higher institution either owned by the private owned or the public owned. Number of resource people that will come from those agencies depends on the number of courses that you applied for. For instance, now, if you apply for 4 courses, at least the minimum that will come is about 16 or 8. I mean, between 16 to 18. This means that each courses we have 4 people that are coming to represent those courses. Now, we now see this thing is capital intensive. So, but today, the digital accreditation process now has helped the system to reduce the cost of this process. Because, like I said, that is either resource inspection or courses accreditation. They are expensive. Before you know, your millions of naira might have gone because of the visitation. Because you have to pay to the part of the federal government, and at the same time, you have to put a lot of things in places. But when now things have done digital, the process of doing digital now is that the MBT that have started it, have created portal for each school. Then you give a login. All the facility of your school, according to the departments, have to be recorded and be snapped. You will snap them, and you are going to use GPS camera to indicate that as you are snapping all these things, you are snapping it within the school camp premises. Not that you go to Obalende to go and snap somebody's essay facilities, now upload. So you will snap all those things accordingly, then upload it into the portal. All your lecturers, the human resources you have, right from the secretary in the office of the HOD, your school building, they will snap everything and upload them. So when they satisfy with it, because they too will now sit down in their office, look into it, and realize that, okay, all these facilities are met the standard of what they require for it. Initially, they will come and look it physically. And that will make them to have a large number of people. So by the time they do that, you do that, they will in the office, once you are successful in that, they will now write the institution that you have successful in your digital accreditation and resource inspection process. If it's the only accreditation you want to do, then you are successful. If it is both, the same thing, then they will now write you. Then they will now come for what they call accreditation or resource inspection verification process. Okay. Verification now means that those things you have sent, they are coming to now see. So you now see that instead of 16 or 18 people to come, there may not be more than 5 or 6. Now it has reduced the burden from the school, because you are the one to provide. They put in the letter that you are going to provide their accommodation and feeding for the number of days. Before they can spend 3 days, but now they may not spend more than 1 or 2 days. You can see that the body of it's a good system that the federal government of Nigeria newly introduced, and it's been taken up by the National Board for Technical Education as the first body that is doing it, and it's a welcoming idea. That is what it means, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, Mr. Ojobankole, this week we read in the news that Harvard did digital resource inspection and accreditation verification. It's the first time of doing such. What are the costs that were involved?
Okay, thank you. We, like my boss has rightly explained, for us in Harvard, we had we have the resource inspection exercise and we have the accreditation. And the first thing we did was to send in all the all the facilities, the human resources and everything with geo-referencing camera we sent to them. And when we got their letter that, okay, you are successful, they wrote us that they will be coming. Fine. And on the 15th, they came for the following courses. One of the beautiful one is the ND law. ND law. Yes, now the Polytechnic or MBT, they can now, they've given power to polytechnics to run law if you have the facility at ND level for now. And we are one of the first set of schools, maybe the third, if not the second in the federation that is having that. And though capital intensive, but we know that many of our young people wants to read law, and the university may not give them. This will be a good platform for them to come in. And when they came in, they saw all that we've done, then they know they commended us for our facilities, the faculty members, and all of that. Then the resource inspection for ND, National Diploma in Law, was a successful one. Then we also have HND. We have in Journalism and Media Studies, that's resource inspection there. Then we also have resource inspection in Film and Multimedia Production. And then we also have resource inspection in Network and Cloud Computing. These 4 courses were areas that came for resource inspection. And then for people at home who may not know what these courses mean, for instance, networking and cloud computing, we already have what we call software and web development. But before now, we used to have HND in computer science, but it has been unbundled. Now you have software and web development, you have network and cloud computing, you have artificial intelligence and cybersecurity. Now, the other courses they came for accreditation for is software and web development, HND accountancy, and HND business administration, and also for institutional accreditation. These are what they came for.
So, sir, you said all these things are capital intensive. Can you just put us through the process?
Okay, fine. Just like the president said earlier, to do the accreditation. But let's go back to this issue of resource inspection. Resource inspection is to come there to check your facility. Facility assessment. Are you ready for the program you want to you applied for? And when they get there, they saw that everything to the least item, we have made it available without a student yet for that course. Then they will also check equipment and tools. They will check your human resources. You must employ people. You must have employed people before you start. That's what we call resource inspection. Before you start the program, they want to know the faculty members. They want to know who are your academics. What are their qualifications? What do they have? Are they the right people? Then they want to look at your support services. Who are the people in the admin, in the secretariat, in your support staff? They want to know. Then they want to look at compliance with the regulatory bodies. And when they came, they saw that all of this has been met. For each of those programs, they saw that all the necessary requirement has been met, from the facility to equipment and tools, human resources, curriculum evaluation, support services, and then the compliance. Then after this, after the digital exercise, then they came visiting to verify, and that has been done. Like you said, if you read all the national dailies in platform and all of that, it was in their front page in platform, for instance, that MBT hails Harvard. When they saw what we put there, one of their staff exclaimed when he saw the facilities that we have put in place, and he was asking, are you getting subvention? We said no. This is the result of a visionary leadership of the president of our organization, who wants all the students to get the best, even when there is no one on grant for those resource inspection yet. He ensured that all the facilities are there. And therefore, all the parents are just encouraged. You can take a trip to the school, come in, you will see the facilities. You will see for each of those programs. And if you also want to verify, you can go to our website, www.harvardcollege.edu.ng. You will see our photo gallery. You will see all these facilities there. Thank you.
So I told you that the second season is going to be starting with a bang, and everything we have been discussing has been nothing short of that. So let us take a breather. Let's take a breather, and when we come back, we'll continue with the topic of today. Dr. Adebayo Oluwatosin, MBT structure. compared with other educational agencies, what can you say about it, sir?
Yeah. First and foremost,
Right.
let me give kudos to the management of National Board for Technical Education in Nigeria. You know, like Mr. Bankole said,
Okay, sir.
that when you have a good leader, talk about leadership, you have a good leadership leader, a leader that has vision, a visionary leader. If it is the kind of leader we have in this country, all these challenges we are facing in our economy and in the area of corruption, all these things will be minimal. But if you look at the executive secretary of MBT, in person of Professor Idris Bugaje,
Okay.
I have seen this man as the kind of man that Nigeria needs to be a president of this country.
Amazing. Amazing.
Honestly,
Wow.
to be sincere.
Wow.
This man have tried with his team based on what this man have done. You know, I said something initially that it was the first, MBT was the first to introduce digital process of accreditation and resource inspection in Nigeria.
Yeah.
When you look at the unbundle of courses in Nigeria today, that in abroad, almost of the courses we are reading today, they are not more in vogue, trending in the terms of the economic system. So if Nigeria can still remain in those courses, definitely how do we want to move forward? Let's look at computer science, for instance. MBT onboarded computer science into 4. Artificial intelligence, cyber security, software and web development, networking and cloud computing. Now, if you look at it, in the world today, if you travel out of this country, they will say, I'm an IT expert. We are no more in the era of computer science. We are in the era of information and communication technology. And most our university today, what they are still doing is computer science. You will see a graduate of a computer science that cannot even write a basic programming. And that is the truth, but not about the truth. Whereby programming has gone beyond some things that we are talking about. And when you come to MBT, look at their curriculum. It's a skillful curriculum that will make you to be able to do something the moment you leave the institution. And that's why I used to tell people that the dichotomy between the HND and BSc, I don't know why. If only our government want to be sincere, HND are better than BSc. It's not because we are running the polytechnic. We propose for university also as well. But at the same time, to be sincere with ourselves, you will see a graduate of engineer, you say, I'm an engineer, I'm not a technician. An engineer that you just put on paper.
You cannot practice.
But you cannot put anything. A graduate of mechanical engineer doesn't even know what they call ordinary. Is even riding a car. Oil filter, he cannot even change. Then look at it. So when you look at the agency, you look at the system, MBT, their system up to today, I can tell you vividly that among those agencies, they are better than other agencies. And why is it like that? It's because of the leader that is in charge presently. There is an ongoing process now whereby, as of today, I don't think we have any professor in Nigeria. Let them come and challenge what I'm saying. If you can write a programming on artificial intelligence, that you are a professor of computer science in Nigeria, let him, I'm ready to pay him. They don't. But what has MBT done? When they unbundle, now they have gone to US to go and have what we call an agreement with some IT company in the United States of America now that are coming to train people, train our people here. The graduates of polytechnics, lecturers, organize workshops. And this is what they have been doing. I'm so conversant with all these agencies, particularly NUC, because we have a university that we propose for. But merely looking at it, I used to tell people that if we can imbibe the system in United Kingdom, you can't go to university in United Kingdom without passing through a college. And the college means that it's like equivalent to polytechnic. That's 2 years. Then our system of education will change. A student graduated from one federal university, I won't mention the name. But he did ND in our school. Then, and now went to do the HND, the BSc in that university, in computer science. He said it's only the practical he did in our school. That was the only practical he did. When he got to lab, not even one day, enter lab. Let's say the truth. Let God, spade a spade. Everything has a better curriculum as far to make your child to be skillful. And that is different. If you look at the curriculum they decide for law, when I saw it, I was amazed. Why? I look at it that most of the courses at 100 level is what they do in 300 level in university. I study law, I did it. I look at it. I say no. So if you look at this, you can see that they have a vision and they have good leader. MBT, among other agencies, they are far better. Even than that. But you know, in Nigeria, we believe in professorship. They've forgotten that professorship is not what you read. You don't read to become a professor. It's a promotion. The same thing we have PhD in Polytechnic, that with the same PhD that write journal, that write paper, either national or international journal. Now you are making to become like, it's a promotion. Not that that's when you have a PhD or doctorate degree, then you still have to go to another course before you can become a professor. No, but we have seen professors as all in Nigeria, and the same professor that some of them cannot even use tab. Don't know if you use. I know professors that don't have email, doesn't know how to use email, and they are professors. It's true. We are not being sincere with ourselves. But we have young guys today. If young people now want to become a professor in Nigeria today, thank God things are changing gradually. And what those things are changing is that, okay, realize that when you're on board with sociology, they brought in welfare and social development, then criminology out of it. Now they know that, okay, how do we now get professor for them? So they start promoting those young guys that has maybe PhD in sociology before. Now for them to be able to have, if not, we have to become the age of 65 in Nigeria before we can become a professor. So by the time you now come to 70, what can a 70-year-old man do in the class? Looking at you see 40, 50s. But in abroad, you will see professor of 35 years. 35 years of age is a professor, 40 years is a professor. So those are the things that we are looking into. That, okay, MBT curriculum, MBT as an agency is better than any other agency.
See the emotional part of the explanation that Dr. Jones gave. That is how he's passionate about the topic we are discussing today. So, sir, now that the Honorable Minister has released a memo on 7 years moratorium on the establishment of higher institutions, either public or private, what implications does it have and how does it affect the existing ones?
Sir, it's a serious issue. This issue that you want to talk about is a federal government issue. To me, it's not the best at all. It's not the best. I was expecting government to stop it on the establishment of public institution, because establishing a public institution in Nigeria today is a political agenda that the politicians use to gain the interest of the society, particularly people within their domain. I can't imagine in my state we have about 2 federal universities in that state, and this university, they are not funding them. The distance of each other to each other is not even up to 10 kilometers. But because one senator has power and he proposed for it so that they can bring university to, then is it bringing university to your state that matter, or the existing one to be what? To be developed and put normal infrastructure. Look at the welfareism of the people there today. If they start it tomorrow, this new one, you now see that as a strike we still continue. If the present government here today we're having today have not even experienced it, what happened to the next? The other government coming tomorrow when they are less being old. So giving them now 7 years that there is a ban that either private or public should not establish an institution is a wrong process. It's a wrong policy. To me, it's a wrong policy. They should have limited it to the public institution, even both state and the federal. Allow the private that has money. It's the private, because this thing we are talking about, it's not a profitable business. So establishing an higher institution in Nigeria, if somebody said, okay, it's like if you look at Harvard, for instance, you think that Harvard, the people that established Harvard will be making money is a lie, because you keep on investing. Even by the time you get to the agencies, the first thing they will tell you, please, do you know that this thing in the next 20 years you cannot make profit from it? If you have 20 years to your age, then as at the time you want to establish, then what age you will start reaping the fruit of your labor? Because every day you keep on investing, putting infrastructure, building, and so on. They should have allowed private that want to assist the situation. So many people in the process now have borrowed money, for the establishment. But when they did this, they should have even considered, okay, let those that have already in the process have got approval by the private. Then any other one coming should not be allowed. But they put the policy for either the one in the process or the one that are coming, that in the next 7 years, to me, it's not the best way. And the way it will affect the existing one is that the existing one will not have enough opportunity to have competitors. Number one, because it's also a bit of competition. So if you have a schools now, You say, okay, this is one institution, this is another one I've established. The other one will start running to make sure that, okay, I have to put infrastructure into my school so that those coming will not beat up with me or whatsoever. So it's not the best, to me, it's not the best way. And it's not the best idea. Thank you.
I know we have a lot of people that have been itching, to contribute to the program, and people have been. We run the biggest giveaway space when it comes to our question and answer segment. So a lot of people must have been itching and been eager to say they want to contribute. But today, what we'll do is you can contribute to the topic of today, and next week, because this is the kickoff of a new season. Next week we can have our question and answer segment. So if you want to contribute to what Dr. Adebayo Oluwatosi and Dr. Mr. Ojobakule has been saying on this very significant topic that now you have the eye opener about, you can call 0814 333 830 0814 333 830 or 0904 888 881 0904 888 181. And while we're expecting your calls, sir, we have a tradition that we express ourselves to our parents and guardians at home, in our traditional dialect in Yoruba. And sir, I want you to let our parents know what happened at Harvard College of Science, Business and Management Studies this week. The visitation, the accreditation process, the resource, so that people can know that, okay, ni Harvard, buy, ni federal government, so that people can get aware.
Yeah, I think for àǹfààní ẹ̀yin òbí wa tẹ́ ń gbọ́ wa lé ní ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí àgbàlejò àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ṣe sọ wípé a ní àwọn ẹ̀ka tó ń bójútó ètò ẹ̀kọ́ gíga lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà, àwọn tó ń bójútó ti yunifásítì wa, àwọn tó ń bójútó ti polytechnic wa, àwọn tó sì ń bójútó ti college of education wa. Àwọn ti polytechnic yẹn wá sí ilé ìwé wa sí Harvard ní ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí. Ohun tó wá ṣe náà ni pé láti wá wò fún wa ní torí àwa náà apply fún afẹ́gbà àwọn courses kankan tuntun then èyí tó ti wà lẹ̀ náà afẹ́ pé kí wọ́n ṣe accreditation fún káwọn ọmọ yẹn lè máa lọ fún NYSC láti lọ serve. Ẹ̀wọ̀n pé tó bá ṣe final HND of accreditation of the courses sísìn láti àkókò ìlọsìn àwọn máa lọ fún HND, àwọn máa lọ fún NYSC láti bí i November this year sìn àwọn tó ń ṣe tán lọ́dún yìí. So àwa ní ẹ̀tọ́ lórí àwọn courses yẹn láti jẹ́ kó máa lọ fún NYSC program. Ẹ̀wọ̀n pé lídé yìí nígbà tó ń wá gbogbo nǹkan tí wọ́n fẹ́ rí òun náà lọ rí. Ẹ̀mọ̀ àṣà wa ní pé a build the standard ni láti lè àṣà wa nìyẹn, kì í ṣe pé bóyá tẹnu, kì í ṣe bóyá torí pé wọ́n ń bọ̀ àwa òun yá nǹkan lò. Mo tiẹ̀ jẹ́ pé àwọn kan tiẹ̀ mọ̀ láti lẹ̀ ní 2020 nígbà tó kọ́kọ́ wá wọ́n sọ torí pé wọ́n wò ó pé gbogbo nǹkan tá a ní akọ orúkọ wa sí lára, so pé à ń ṣe iléèwé tí máa lọ sáré jagbà níbì kan a ní gbogbo wa a máa ń korí ni láti wò pé òkè àwọn kan báyìí a fẹ́ fún ti ìgbàlódé. Nígbà táwọn náà dẹ̀ dé wọ́n rí gbogbo nǹkan wọ̀nyí ìpè lóòótọ́ kọ́ọ̀sì méje tí wọ́n wá fún because ìkẹjọ èdè wọn a máa ń pè yẹn ní institutional administration. So institution yìí tí wọ́n ti approve lọ́jọ́ kìíní àná lẹ́yìn ọdún mẹ́rin wá tó padà wá wò ó ṣé àwọn structure yẹn ṣì wà nílẹ̀ ṣé ó sì rí bẹ́ẹ̀. ọ́fíìsì dín yín ni ọ́fíìsì rector àbí provost ni, ọ́fíìsì registrar ni, bursar ni, librarian, gbogbo àwọn kan wọ̀nyẹn wà wò hospital yín, clinic wa. Nígbà tó dé clinic wa àwọn náà fẹ́ nara mọ̀ wípé yes pé ìkọ́ni wọn sọ pé òun fẹ́ kí ẹ tó jẹ́ ọ̀gá wọn pátápátá ìyẹn executive pé òun ti wá kó wá wò pé nǹkan wà níbí báyìí pé kò sí school tó nírú ẹ̀ àfi ṣe pé àfi ṣe fọnufọnu ìjọba mi school ìjọba mi gan wọn ò ní, nítorí pé ohun tá à ń ṣe tó pé tá à ní passion fún ni. tó wọ́n dẹ̀ rí i pé lóòótọ́ àkójú wọn irú lọ́ọ̀ wá ń sìn ìgbà tán dé mood court yẹ ẹnu yà wọ́n torí pé wọ́n wò ó pé èmi ti inú àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ wọn lọ pé ọ̀gá ń ṣe nǹkan torí pé lọ́ọ̀yà ni wọ́n ló jẹ́ kán set up gbogbo àwọn lọ́ọ̀ ẹ̀mọ̀ no kì í ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ nítorí pé ohun tá à ń ṣe àfi ṣe yí pé a jẹ́ nǹkan tá a fẹ́ ni àmì nǹkan tá a nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí òun là ń ṣe. So ìdí èyí àwọn làjẹ́ káwọn òbí kan mọ̀ wípé accreditation of courses gẹ́gẹ́ bá ṣe sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan òun tán wá fún àti resource inspection tán wá fún wọ́n ṣe wọ́n dẹ̀ gbà tán dẹ̀ ń lọ wọ́n kú oríyìn fún wa wípé no ohun tá a ṣe ohun táwọn rí o ó tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ohun táwọn rí ó tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ó jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ju pé a máa sọ wípé no eléyìí ò sí. tó nígbà tán give comment wọn àwọn kan kéékèèké náà sọ wọn kàn ní sáà ní hostel sáà ní kinní kan ọ̀gá wọn wá sọ wípé no òye dandan kọ́ká ni láti ṣe hostel jẹmọ àwọn kan kéékèèké bọ́ sí wọn rí nǹkan pàtó pọ̀ wọ́n lè fi òkú wa. So ó fún wa jẹ́ ká mọ̀ wípé láwọn òbí tó ń gbẹ̀ntàn àwọn tó ń gbọ́ wa lé pé ẹ̀kọ́ ó ṣe pàtàkì bọ̀wọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ ṣe pàtàkì kó ẹ jẹ́ kọ́ ọmọ yín kó ẹ̀kọ́ nílé ìwé tí ó máa ti rí àrídánilójú pé nígbà tó ń bá gba certificate lọ́jọ́ iwájú òun á lè prove ẹ̀ yìí pé ó kàwé yìí ọ̀pọ̀ wọn ló ń gbé HND BSc kiri lẹ́ni mo ti rí yẹn tó wá ṣe masters interview lọ́dọ̀ wa tó ń jí question wò nínú Google ó mì pé foundation ẹ̀ wọ́ iṣẹ́ tí ọ̀rọ̀ sáà kan tí mo sọ so àwa ń gbìyànjú títí wa láti lè make sure wípé a change system yẹn wípé ọmọ tó bá ṣe tán tó bá dé ìgboro àwọn á lè máa bẹ̀ pé ilé ìwé wo ló ti wá èsì ìkan tá à ń gbìyànjú láti ṣe nìyẹn so lọ́sẹ̀ yìí a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run pé ohun tí ìjọba fẹ́ ká ṣe à ń ṣe àdè tó ṣe jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ẹ ṣe gan.
Mr. Ojo Bankole ní èdè Yorùbá náà admission lọ lọ́wọ́ báyìí ẹ̀kọ́ fi sọ fáwọn àwọn òbí wa tó wà ní pé òkè o admission lọ lọ́wọ́ o ẹ̀yin tí ọmọ yóò bá gba iye báyìí.
ẹ ṣe fún àwa tí ó wà ní ilé tí a ní àwọn ọmọ tí ó ṣe ṣetán ní ilé ẹ̀kọ́ girama tó dẹ̀ fẹ́ lọ sí ilé ìwé gíga a ní àǹfààní láti wọlé sí ọ̀dọ̀ wa àwọn ọmọ yín ní àǹfààní láti wọlé sí ọ̀dọ̀ wa bí wọ́n bá kọ JAMB bóyá wọ́n gba 100 ó lé wọ́n ní àǹfààní láti wọlé sí ọ̀dọ̀ wa wọ́n wá sí ilé ẹ̀kọ́ ọba ní ọ̀nà ní Ọbádá ó wà láàrin Ọbádá sí Adígbẹ́ bí wọ́n bá dẹ̀ kọ JAMB wọ́n tún lè wá náà a ní ètò ẹ̀kọ́ kan tí a ń pè ní pre-ND fún àwọn ọmọ tó jẹ́ pé wọn kọ JAMB ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n ti ṣe WAEC wọn bóyá torí owó àbí torí ìdí kan wọn ò ní àǹfààní láti kọ JAMB bọ̀ tí wọ́n pass tàbí tí wọ́n kọ JAMB tí wọn ò pass WAEC wọn tó wọ́n wá a máa gbà wọ́n a máa kọ́ wọn ká lè múra wọn sílẹ̀ fún ìdánwò tí wọ́n á kọ ní ọdún tó ń bọ̀ then kán wá ẹni tí ò bá lè wá nítorí ibi tó wà ẹ lè lọ sí inú àdírẹ́sì wa lórí wẹ́bsáìtì wa ẹ̀rọ ayélujára à ń pè ní àdírẹ́sì wa ní www.harvardcollege.edu.ng tí ẹ bá débẹ̀ tẹ́ bá ti ṣí ẹ máa rí àwọn nǹkan tí ẹ nílò ẹ dẹ̀ máa rí ibi tó ń kọ fresh link fresh application ẹ kàn tẹ̀ láti bẹ̀ ó máa sọ nǹkan tí ẹ máa ṣe kò ní ẹ̀tọ́ láti kò sí èrèdí kan tí ọmọ kan á fi jòkó sílé fún ọdún kan torí ó fẹ́ JAMB tàbí ó fẹ́ WAEC ẹ jẹ́ ká gbé wọnú ilé ẹ̀kọ́ so that ní ìparí ohun gbogbo kò ní jẹ́ wípé ọwọ́ irú ọmọ bẹ́ẹ̀ èṣù máa yá lò torí kò sì ṣe ní ọwọ́ ẹ̀.
Now I told you that this new season is going to be filled with insights and expose, and we have started right. So this is the first edition of the new season.